Hi guys, Old Iron Will here. Going to share one more engine tale with you here. I'm going to talk about my 6 horsepower Foos Jr. Um, and it was an engine that I noticed coming up at a McDougall sale. It was down south of Eston, Saskatchewan. You guys can look that up if you want to know whereabouts that is. It was an online auction again. I did, obviously I was a successful bidder on it, but I thought I'd just share a little bit of the tale of what the folks could tell me about the engine, right? So when we went down and picked it up, they had a few old tractors and stuff like that. They had this engine and just really bits and pieces, parts of an International M, horse and a half. But this engine, that wasn't a family engine or anything like that. But they bought a farm yard site and some land in about 1976, and in the old farmyard was this engine. It was sitting in a tree row, and it had been there for years and years and years. So they picked it up and they hauled it back to the main yard, and it just sat there. Again, it sat out there in a fence row for years and years and years, and up until the auction sale about 4 or 5 years ago. So like I say, I was a successful bidder on it. Went down, picked it up. The guys were great. They had a tractor there, everything lined up. They had everything rigged up properly to lift the engine up. It was a quick deal, got her loaded, got her put on the trailer, got her strapped down, and we had a good conversation and visit and stuff like that. And the two brothers, they said, well, if you ever get that engine running, share that with us, right? We'd like to see that. I don't think it'll ever run again. And so anyways, I brought it home, and again, stuck bad, right? Everything I seem to get up here seems to be stuck bad. And Foos Jr. engines, Foos engines of any sorts are as rare as hen's teeth up here. Anyways, we did get it home. And then again, the process of soaking it and slowly getting it apart. And again, it took a while to get it apart. I had to stand her on end and let the piston soak for quite some time, but I did drive out the piston. Again, was able to reuse the old rings. The valves were stuck on it. I had to remachine the faces of the valve cages. By this point in time, I've gotten a few more tools and stuff like that with a lathe and a milling machine. So I was able to mill them all nice and smooth because they were pretty rough. And, the other big problem it had was that it had a bad crack about 10 inches long in the bottom of the water hopper. Obviously, from sitting outside for all those years and up here where she can get 30 below to 40 below Celsius at any given time in the winter. So, it definitely had cracked. So it was my first test at our first try at doing lock and stitch. It's definitely not a fast process, but it definitely is. I was really impressed with the results. You can't even tell it was ever cracked. It's not an expensive process to go through either. The stuff is expensive, especially when you're ordering it out of the States and with the exchange rates and the shipping costs and everything like that. So, the engine's pretty complete. The only thing that's probably not original to this engine right now is, the muffler and the piping that I got on there. It's actually a muffler for an Alamo engine, I believe it is. It's a reproduction one that I picked up from Lee Anderson a number of years ago. I had it on a different engine, but fuel tank's all original. Everything's original on it. They did rig up this different pulley here with it looks like it's off a flywheel off of something at one point in time. Both of it, I just thought it was pretty unique. The outside belting was pretty rotten, so I kind of took off the first couple of layers, left the inside layers on just because I thought it was a pretty unique farmer fix. Same with the other side of the belt pulley. They had leather belting mounted on there to make the diameter bigger, or maybe for grip. I'm not sure which one I would have been, but one of the two would have been done for one of the two reasons. And I removed it because it was all rotten and stuff like that. But again, it's a beautiful running engine, and it's an engine, like I say, you don't see up here very often. So, but I just thought and I did send a video to the two brothers there, and again, they didn't think it would ever run again, and I think they were quite happy when they seen it run, and were happy that I got it. And it's an engine that I'm one of my favorite engines right now, right? So, but I have a lot of favorite engines. So, anyways, take care, everybody. Cheers for now.